एवरीवन, मेरा नाम ज़ीशान हमीद है और मैं 12 साल से मिल्टन में काउंसलर हूं और इस वक्त मिल्टन के मेयर इलेक्शन में खड़ा हुआ हूं। देखें, सवाल ये कि लोग म्यूनिसिपल इलेक्शन में वोट क्यों नहीं डालते। उसकी कई वजह हैं। एक तो ये है कि लोकल मीडिया की कवरेज नहीं होती है ज़्यादा इस इलेक्शन में, तो लोगों को ज़्यादा पता नहीं चलता है कि इश्यूज कौन से हैं, कैंडिडेट कौन सा है। और चूंकि इसमें पार्टीज भी नहीं है, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज पे भी आपको फिर हर कैंडिडेट पे इंडिविजुअली रिसर्च करनी पड़ती है, तो अक्सर लोग सोचते नहीं है। अक्सर हम फॉरेन पॉलिसी के बारे में ज़्यादा सोचते हैं, प्रोविंशली हम हॉस्पिटल एजुकेशन के बारे में सोचते हैं। लेकिन हालांकि म्यूनिसिपल जो हमारी बल्दिया गवर्नमेंट होती है, म्यूनिसिपल गवर्नमेंट हमारी ज़िंदगी पे काफ़ी असर पड़ता है, सबसे ज़्यादा असर पड़ता है, लेकिन उसके बारे में हम सोचते नहीं हैं। इसके लिए देखें, जितने लोगों से बात कर सकते हैं आप निकलें, आप वोट डालें। आप किसी कैंडिडेट को सपोर्ट करें तो दूसरों को बताएं उस कैंडिडेट के बारे में, और ज़्यादा थोड़ी सी रिसर्च करें। ये वोटिंग जो है ना, एक प्रिविलेज नहीं है, एक राइट भी नहीं है। राइट तो है, प्रिविलेज भी है, लेकिन ये एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी है, और आपको चाहिए कि अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उठाएं, जाइए और वोट डालिए। बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, थैंक यू।
Hi there. So, the first question, why is the voter turnout so low? My reasoning, my thought for why the municipal election voter turnout is so low is because people do not understand the direct impact and the power of that impact on themselves as a community. We put so much emphasis on the provincial and the federal because there's more social media, there's more marketing that's placed towards it. They're bigger ridings, so it seems like there's a greater impact. But the city councilor decision is the one that impacts you the most at the community level. So I'm trying to increase awareness of that so people recognize that for their homes or apartments or wherever they live, when we address homelessness, or even our taxes and accountability and everything in between, that the decisions to some degree are made by the city councilors, and then they're up-level pressuring towards provincial and federal. There needs to be more understanding of how it impacts them directly, and then people will be more invested in their municipal elections. The second part of the question is, how do we improve it? And it's by getting to the doors and communicating with people. It's not about having a good campaign. It's about having a good connection with your community. And the more that people see you out there connecting and engaging and investing in the community, then they'll recognize that this is someone that they want working for them and not just another individual out there. So the more that we're visible, the more that we get those touches with people personally, then they'll realize that on one-on-one, that is an important part of the process, and it's important for them. So the best strategy is building relationships and building community, and not spending so much time focusing on money spent on a slick campaign, and more time spent with the people in the community. So everyone feels that when you win as a candidate, they win as a resident.
Hi everybody, my name is Adil Kalki and I am your town councillor candidate for Ward 3. And today I wanted to come out here and say a few words about the upcoming municipal election. You know, municipal elections have an average voter turnout of about 30%. That is really low, and it's low for a number of reasons. It could be that people don't have a particular party that they associate with, given that everybody's independent when they're running for this type of election. And it could be people are just tired of, having the same old type of politicians that fall out of touch with the communities that they are supposed to be representing. Well, the reason I put my name onto the ballot is rooted in public service. Professionally, I'm a police officer. That's why I'm running. I'm running to extend that public service that I'm already doing into the role of counselor as well. And as a young person who's diverse and energetic, I believe that the type of candidacy I'm putting forward to voters will help increase voter turnout. And I also have a plan that's rooted in 4 parts that I've come up with through interactions I've had with the residents in Ward 3. A plan that makes our roads safer, invests more in our public services, makes street parking more lenient, and keeps our community engaged, not just during election time, but throughout the term of council. Let's talk more about the platform. I'll make our roads safer by advocating for more traffic calming measures, such as stop signs and crosswalks in applicable areas. And I'll also liaise with Halton Police to get them to come to enforcement in the areas that have road safety concerns. And I'll also advocate for technology-based enforcement, such as photo radar in school zones and other vulnerable areas. for the public services realm of things in my platform, I'll advocate for more funding for the fire department, infrastructure, and snow removal, and I'll also look to increase funding for the Milton transit system and add new bus routes that connect us to nearby municipalities. I'll also make street parking more lenient by increasing the overnight parking permits beyond the currently allotted 18 and increasing the daytime street parking time allowance beyond 5 hours. And lastly, I'll keep our community engaged by hosting proactively monthly public meetings with ward residents to hear their concerns and address them accordingly. My pitch to voters is clear. For real progress on these 4 issues and to have a councillor that represents the future of what our town will look like, on October 24th, vote for me, Adil Kalki.
The reason for the low turnout in the local municipal elections is the very reason is that because the is awareness in the general public. The reason for that is that because the federal and the provincial level elections are run based on the party basis, and each party reaches out to the grassroots of the communities. They have a very well-defined, well-structured system in the party so that they can reach out to individuals more than the individual running in the municipal elections. And also one more reason is that most of the homeowners, they know that how their property taxes are increasing, what's happening around them. So they are the most people who know what is the impact of the municipal elections. So they are the ones most likely to vote. But general public, a majority of them, they are not really aware of that what services the municipal government provide. So that is, I think, the lack of information. Also, again, when I say that reaching out to the grassroots, because the federal and the provincial levels have a bigger organization, they can reach out to more people. Whereas in the municipal elections, individuals are running themselves. They don't have a party behind them. They don't have a structure behind them. So each and every individual makes their effort. And also one more reason, if you know, that's the very reason if you see the most of the candidates who once elected in the municipal elections, they remain in their positions for a long time, for maybe next 2, 3, 4 terms. And that is the reason, the lack of information or lack of reaching out to general.
You know, the municipal elections are going on these days in Ontario. Generally, it has been noticed in the past that voters' turnout in municipal elections is kind of very low. What's the reason? And what do you propose to improve it?
I believe and I think there should be a strong base for the community and municipal election. Municipal election is community based. It's not a party based. And party does not interfere in these elections. And there is no strong criteria from city for the eligibility. So I think anybody can apply, anybody can contest the election. So there are so many candidates. It's a multicultural community, so people have sometimes no choice even to who to give. Even one community have so many candidates. So they just decide to sit down home, don't vote anybody. And I think the suggestions are best. City should have some criteria like a membership. Some candidates should provide a maximum membership base, or then the eligibility criteria is there. And on community side, I think community itself, one community has so many candidates of the same community, and that is a big difference for the community for losing. So community should have its own criteria to judge the candidate and bring.
Friends, municipal elections are around the corner again, and as always, we struggle with few of the key questions. One of the questions is voter turnout. As we have noticed that the advanced polling have proven that voter turnout is going to be low again. And the biggest reason for that is that voters are not engaged up to the municipal election. So I think there is more engagement required on community level. The councillors should take onus and responsibility in making sure the voters are connected with them throughout the period of before the election arrives. The other issue is the biggest issue we are facing right now is the safety concerns in our communities. Crime has gone out of roof, and that's one of the big issue I hope this municipal elections address. Sanjay Makar from Insure Brokers, thank you for listening.
Hi. Yes, this is a fact that the voter turnout for the municipal elections in Ontario has been very low. Like in 2018, it was only 38% of the eligible voters who came out to vote. Whereas in the provincial elections of 2022, the number has been 43%, which is also a very record low number, but the municipal numbers are even lower than that. And for 2022, the numbers will come out, but I don't think it will be better than before. So the main reason, there could be many reasons for this one, but I think in my opinion, the reason is that the number of candidates who are contesting in the municipal elections are very high in any particular riding. Like in my own riding, the number of the candidates for the councillor position, I think it is about 13 or 12 or 13 people contesting. And most of them that we never heard of their names or never seen them, never heard them. And I don't know if they have any community service before on the record or not. So it's my personal opinion, and anybody can differ from that. Now anyone who is interested in getting his poster published, he just comes forward and contest for these elections just to have their name in the record.
In response to the survey in terms of why the turnout of a municipal election is less than a federal or a province election, in my view, the reason could be two. The first one is the education by the candidates in terms of what role they can play in terms of improving the day-to-day life of the voters. For example, in case of province and federal election, I think the candidate try to articulate exactly what they'll do and how the policies would make a difference in the life of the citizens. The second piece for me is the engagement. So what I see is, although the volume of candidate is much greater than what we see in the other form of election, however, the policies or the role that they can play is not clearly explained to the voter, and these could be the reason in terms of why the voters are not very engaged in a municipal election.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So in this municipal election, the reason why a lot of people are not voting or are not part of it is because honestly, you don't really even know who these candidates are or what are they standing up for, what exactly their job entitles, is it important, how it would affect me or the people around us. So that's I think one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people don't take part or are active in this particular election. So yeah, that's my opinion.
वोट कम पड़ने की सबसे बड़ी वजह मेरे ख्याल में तो ये है कि सिटी इलेक्शन के उम्मीदवार की ऑथेंटिसिटी पर कोई सियासी पार्टी जवाबदेह नहीं होती, इसलिए वोटर हजरात इसको एक तरह का जुआ समझते हैं, लिहाजा दिलचस्पी नहीं लेते। इसके लिए ये करना चाहिए कि बाकायदा डिबेट हो, सवाल और जवाब करके वोटर हजरात कंपेयर कर सकें कि कौन बेहतर है। इस तरह वोटिंग में वो ज्यादा शिरकत करेंगे।
Yeah, so I think one of the big reasons that we're not as involved in these elections and municipal elections is because there's the candidates, they don't reach out in the right proper channels. They should be using more social media avenues where more of our crowd, younger crowd, are actually on, so that we're able to access their platform, see, understand what they're all about. But I think for now it's something that I hope in the future that they will correct, and they should see more involvement once they start reaching out to us in the right and appropriate platforms.
Hello everyone, have a good day. My name is Zubair. I'm living in the Brampton area. Regarding low turnouts for the local elections, I think the civic engagement because the leader is not properly engaged for the people, or maybe the media coverage is not good for the major elections. In general, there are reasons why voter turnout is lower locally than the other level. The biggest one is that the people just don't have the sense that municipal government matters for their lives. They don't think has a much of an effect, and as a result, they are less interested and pay less attention. Municipal elections are the most important. I recommend if you don't vote, you cannot complain. 10 minutes out of a day and you cast the vote. Thank you.
The reason that we don't vote in municipal elections is because, unlike the federal and provincial elections, we don't necessarily know what the municipality is in charge of. We understand the basics, maybe parking and maybe some like the parking rules, maybe speed limits potentially, but we don't necessarily understand what the exact jurisdiction is and how exactly they're going to change our daily life. So we had a better understanding of what or how it affects our day to day, and then you're more interested in really knowing what the different platforms of the different mayors and so on and so forth is. I think right now, for example, you take Mississauga, we're really just used to having one mayor and they're doing a good, decent job. You don't necessarily know what other change different candidates are going to bring around.
The question why voter participation is low in municipal election and what can be done to improve it. In my view, there are two major reasons why the voter participation is low. One is that generally people are happy or satisfied with the services they receive in their city. For example, the garbage is being picked up, the water is coming in the house without any interruptions. They don't have any water drainage issues. The roads are being maintained fairly reasonably. So that makes people generally satisfied with the services. So when the election time comes, nobody really cares very much, and some people, very few people, go out to vote and participate in the election. One more thing that plays with the satisfaction of the people with the municipality is that all the municipalities, they tend to do all the major works in the year before and the year of the election. So if you go around and see, most of the road repairs, curb repairs, water line works, they are all being done in the year before or year of the election. The other reason that people don't participate in municipal election is that the municipal elections are at a very low level, community level, so they don't generate much news, much excitement. But if you at the same time look at the bigger city, for example, Mayor of Toronto, turnout will be higher for his election. And so it depends on how much news coverage an election gets that translates into participation of the people. What can be done to improve it is, I think, is just creating awareness.
Well, there is a low turnout in municipal election. What I believe mostly the reason is people are busy in their own lives, especially young people, busy arranging their family requirements, their kids' requirement, and now the Halloween also coming, they are busy. They don't take out time to vote, and moreover, for voting there is not much attraction is there, no tax reduction or anything like that. That's the reason why mostly young people don't go for vote. Only the retirees go for voting in this municipal election.